We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, dudes? It's us. Hey, what's our? We already got Vince going on in there, and we already got we got some people viewing what's going on. Everybody, welcome to the Drive-In Speakerbox. We're back. I'm the boom operator.
I'm the grip.
And this week is probably not going to be the longest of episodes of the Drive-In Speakerbox because, as we said last week, not a whole lot of movies came out in the week this weekend. Did you see?
Because Avengers is next week. Man.
Exactly.
No one wants to go up against that.
Everyone's just bowing down and bending the knee to Queen Avengers that's going to come in and end game. Everybody, what's up, Adam? And you know, no one wants to step to that. And you see these patterns a lot in Hollywood when big epic movies come out that everybody just kind of paves the way for them to sort of just flex and have that room to breathe, which is kind of not fair for some of the other movies. What's going on, McLean? And you know, last week, the Penguin movie came out, and I was like, I even wanted to go see a movie. Sunday nights are usually my theater night, and I looked at the listings. I was going to go see Best of Enemies, but that is no longer playing at our AMC. It was only there for like 2 weeks, and I missed it, and I'm kind of upset about it.
That's like the minimum limit, right?
Yeah, minimum limit, and they got it out, which bothered me because I even said, I was like, yeah, I'll probably go see that movie, and then I went to go see that movie, and it wasn't there. They actually brought back How to Train Your Dragon in AMC for like a hot second.
I saw that it's weird. It was playing this last weekend, I think. Yeah,
I thought that was a little strange.
Yesterday it was playing.
And okay, I guess they just needed something to grab an audience for like 2 seconds while we get ready for this Avengers in the game, as they say, even though really it's begin phase 2 game. This is not the ending of anything. It's the ending of some storylines, not necessarily characters, but I think they're going to take some of these people whose contracts are up and are sick and tired of doing this, and they're going to try and reinvent this series for the next 10 years, which they have a timeline for. I'm not really excited about it, you guys. I know a lot of people are just like, I've waited my whole life for this. No, you haven't. You're just bored, and there's not a lot of good content coming out, and so
comics in those movies, they've used a lot of the newer or popular storylines for those characters, and if they're going to replace those characters with others, they've already blown through the popular characters, the popular storylines from the comics, and if the last 70, 80 years of comic books hasn't been able to gain interest from people that actually like comics, I don't think that your average moviegoer who doesn't even know or care about these characters beyond the fact that it gets them on the hype train with everyone else are going to continue to remain as interested for very long.
And, that's I think one part of the plan that Marvel's been trying to do lately, and I think DC has been trying to piggyback on this a little bit too, is, as you were saying, we're kind of exhausting a lot of these popular characters and these popular storylines, but I think that they're wanting to try and Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool all of us, where it's like you get a property of a character that is not all that well known and doesn't have a humongous loyal following.
Deadpool definitely did.
Well,
though.
In comparison to, say, Superman, Batman, the Incredible Hulk, like Spider-Man, these are like, you come out of the fetus and you know what these are. I don't know how, but it's like they put that in your brain. And Wonder Woman and then even Aquaman had a little more worldwide name recognition than Deadpool, because I knew a lot of people that are, unless you're into comics, you don't know Deadpool, but now he is a household name, and I think that the studios are able to have a lot more wiggle room with just doing whatever the hell they want to and throwing poo on a wall to see if it sticks. And so maybe it's like, all right, now that we've got you guys used to the idea of these crazy bonkers sort of superhero movies, let's just start pulling some characters out of the woodwork. And so, yeah, like Vince said, he didn't even know Deadpool was a thing before.
That's
the
just
movies.
insane to me. But
But you're a comic fan, though.
Yeah, I grew up reading comics. I was able to read at an early age, and comics is what I read. And then I read Wizard magazine all the time.
Oh yeah, Wizard. I got all the trading cards. See, I was all
Wow.
Ooh, shots fired.
Coming in hot right there.
Straight from the faux labs. The some Deadpool hate.
That's like being like, yo, straight up, screw Dan Hibiki, Rio from SNK forever. And it's like, okay, yeah, we get that's the original, but there's one that's completely different. That's a goofy character that everyone.
Or Ken and Ryu.
Well, but they were made at the same time. Those are, but Rio was the SNK character, and then Capcom made Dan Hibiki as a joke character. It's the same thing character as Deathstroke and Deadpool.
Well,
but Dan's better, man.
It's all comic books, man. And that's what we're getting. I mean, have you even heard that the Star Wars movies are taking a break for a few years? Like after, everybody's been talking about the new trailer to the new...
Can it be another, 22 years like it was? Well, like 16 years like it was last time?
There's money in this vein of gold that they've struck, and they're going to continue to mine it out. But I think the lackluster success of the Solo movie and kind of all of this fan backlash about the movies.
Well, yeah, now that it's set in and people aren't having that whole MTV thing where it's like, oh, it's cool because we tell you it's cool. And
right.
They're like, oh, wait, you know what? Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are both just piles of turds that were forced into our faces. People are realizing that a lot more now.
If I poop in your butt and then you put poop back into my butt with the same poop back and forth forever. Yeah. And that's the cinematic universe.
What was the emoticon for that? There's 2 parentheses and then less than, greater than, 2 parentheses.
The poop butts. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man, but they're going to take a break from the movies. They're going to focus on all this smaller content.
Video games,
the animated series, The Mandalorian, and then, they're taking the showrunners from Game of Thrones. What is this? David Lindelof and DB
Wise and David Lindelof. Yeah.
And so they're going to be moving over into the Star Wars universe, which, everyone's like, oh, I can't believe it. I can. The guys that are making the biggest phenomena in TV right now, landing a deal with a...
It is.
There it is. Thank you, John. Landing a deal with one of the most famous properties that is losing wind with each passing year. Of course they're going to get it. They're going to give it to the biggest guys. And
yeah, but I wonder if that's just going to hurt them.
Who knows?
Everyone being so burnt out on Star Wars.
It could. It very well could. And I'm fine with a break. Let's come up with some new content, you guys. Content.
What was it that they gave the Russo brothers? They're like, oh, good job with Avengers, which really had nothing to do with you, but just pure hype. And you were the ones lucky enough to be helming the conductor
ship
of that hype train.
They didn't build the ship. They just sailed it for a minute.
Yeah, they gave them something here recently where it's they have full control over some gigantic property.
Well, I mean, this whole property thing is really, really weird because we live in excuse me, do you remember when we were kids? Well, and I mean, shoot, you can go, even when
today,
kids that were born in the 90s, when you were small children, and you would see something.
Only 90s kids will remember.
Yeah, only 90s kids will remember, and 80s kids will remember, and 70s kids will remember. Think about this. Remember when we were all kids and we were like, man, wouldn't it be cool if they did a movie version of it? And it meant something. It was and almost...
I'm saying, I used to read Wizard Magazine.
And almost nothing got movies.
One of the features of Wizard Magazine was fantasy casting movies. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, if X-Men gets made... Patrick Stewart's going to be Professor X because duh. And then they would cast all the other characters. And they're like, if Deadpool gets made, Ryan Reynolds because duh. And there were other movies that have never and will never get made. But you
But
had
now it's
fantasy castings for movies like Iron Man and Captain America and things like that. So.
But it's weird in the world we live in now that if there is any sort of idea that has any sort of just even the minutest of audience that you can exploit, it's going to get a movie. And that I don't know, that cheapens it for me, because it's like, Halo's getting a movie right now. I don't know if you heard about the news. Pablo Schreiber is now Master Chief. I don't know if you know him. I actually like him quite a bit. He's a pretty diverse character actor.
But you can't make video game movies, y'all.
Hey, I know. I didn't say I was excited about it, but I'm saying, it's popular, therefore it's getting a movie. Minecraft is getting a live action movie. Like Minecraft.
So are Duplos, right?
Or
Mega Bloks.
It's I think it was Duplo. Yeah. But it's like anything that they can just scrape and go, there's already existing audience. Let's jump on it. Let's make a movie about it. And it's just, it's wearing me out.
Is Minecraft just going to be the Lego movie too? Because it's like, build something crazy to save everybody.
As
like pickaxe things and.
They've announced that it's going to be hitting theaters March 4th, 2022. And Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist director, Peter Soleil, is directing. And he said it's the story, quote, of a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers. After the malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, they must all save their beautiful, blocky overworld. Just let that soak in for just a second.
That's awful.
Yeah, and you just slap Minecraft on it, and you get a built-in audience, and it's like,
are they going to have them go to like the purple Minecraft hell dimension thing?
It's probably, I just want to see a movie where it's a bunch of like mouth breathers sitting away, chipping on pixels, and like going, "Look, I made a queso." And then the movie's like 72 hours long, and it's just people building crap in Minecraft.
Yeah, it's a real time review of someone building like the Death Star in Minecraft or whatever like people do, and it's like room by room, authentic to whatever, and it just takes all of the time,
all of your life that you won't get back, so you can be internet famous for about 4 minutes.
The last 6 years of my life just got featured on the front page of Reddit.
Yeah.
And it was gone.
And it was gone instantly. Someone went, huh, and then kept going, bleh. But, so Avengers Endgame, it's coming out this week. It is, Captain Marvel's in it. She's going to come back. And predictions on what you think this movie is going to be.
Turd garbage.
Well, I mean, obvi, but it's 181 minutes, and what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? Everyone's just like, ooh, I wonder what they're going to do. Like, however is the story going to be told? And I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be that they defeat Thanos and take possession of the Infinity Stones, and they bring everyone back to life.
What? No, that's impossible. Thanos is so powerful. How could that even be a thing?
Because they all have matching onesies now. And that's what they were really missing from Avengers. They all had different outfits, but now they'll have
the same uniform. Mm-hmm. Now that they have a uniform, there's cohesive team leadership, and that's the problem, is they weren't working together.
Yeah.
And now that they work together and hit power level 9,000, they'll
now they'll have a space people, and Hawkeye with a sword.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye.
And
it's like,
Ant-Man will go in Thanos' butt and expand.
Ooh, goatsy.
That's wow.
Thanos goatsy. It's just gonna be Ant-Man going out of Thanos' booty.
But that's what everyone on the internet's calling for, is the whole Ant-Man Thanos butt expansion. Speaking
of superheroes, did you watch season 2 of The Tick?
I started it the other day. I didn't realize I had not watched it until I was like, oh, what happens in this? And I watched episode 1. I was like, oh, I haven't seen this because they split the first season
into 2 parts.
And so I felt like
it was
watched
season 2.
Yeah.
Well, last week, one of our viewers, John, was talking about season 2, and I was like, man, I need to finish it because it just came out, and it was kind of bothered me a little bit because the first season got such a huge media push from Amazon, and it has got so many 5-star ratings, and everybody was going on and on. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing an ad for the Tick, and it made my heart a flutter. And then even I missed the release date of season 2. Like, it just went boop, totally under the radar, and I was like, oh geez, it's already been out for a week and I haven't watched it yet. And so I went and I watched it, and it's so good, you guys.
I watched the first 1 or 2 episodes, and I saw that
so good.
Tick's outfit changed again, and they have like him molting as the explanation, and yeah, it just keeps getting better.
And he's getting closer and closer to looking like he does in the comics, which
Right.
is pretty funny.
Yeah, and I like that the first half of the first season and the second half of the second of it, like he changes or whatever from pilot episode to episode 2 or however it works.
Yeah. And
Wait, don't you look different? He's like, what?
huh? What? But I think that this season, if you ever watch the first season, or if you're bored or want something and you need some superhero stuff, this is quite possibly the best superhero television show on the air right now, in my opinion. I think. Oh well, you haven't seen season 2 yet, dude.
I haven't. I also have not seen Young Justice season 3 yet. So,
But the Tick season 2 is so close to the old cartoon and the comics to where you're in the
Chippendale Chairhead shows up.
basically they open Lobstercules shows up, and
I saw that, the bank robber.
yeah, and the branch of Aegis, the office in the city that had been closed because of lack of activity, is now open again. And so all of these superheroes are coming back into the city, and it shows like this corporate side of superhero life, and it's it's really great to see some of these characters that are just doing it for the free croissants and access to the Aegis Lounge and like all this kind of stuff.
Do they have Atomic Cow or the
Man-eating cow? No, they don't have man. Like, a lot of these are newer characters because I think the deal with New England comics, there's only so many of those characters that they can actually tap into and use.
Well, I saw that
Because this episode should have had Sewer Urchin. It needed Sewer Urchin.
I saw that for season 2, Ben Edlund is doing the writing for the episodes. Like,
Yeah.
the creator of Tick is writing the episodes in season 2, or at least the first couple.
Well, and they're taking a really cool direction with Arthur's sister Dot, and I think
I saw that. Yeah,
Arthur, the character of Arthur he really comes into his own in this one, and to show because a lot of people that ask me because my favorite superhero duo in comics of all time is Tick and Arthur, and everyone's like, well, Arthur sucks, and I was like, dude, no, Arthur is the man. The fact that he is every much a Batman. He's like a poor Batman, because he has a suit that does a couple of cool features, but he's just a human. But he's smart and he's clever, and he has access to things like the Tick, and he's able to utilize these things in ways that other superheroes just can't. But anyway,
like mustaches.
Yeah, mustache feeling. You've got that mustache feeling.
Yeah, dude. I got from my lip down to my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got that feeling.
Mustache feeling in my soul.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, Arthur is great. You see there's a lot of good character arcs in this whole story. You see Dot coming into her own. You see the Tick really becoming more of a Tick. We have so many good Tickisms in this series, where he just kind of pontificates about justice and. We hear him say spoon, and it's towards the end, but he says spoon. And
Sick.
we get overkill. You get a whole lot of there's a whole character loop of Overkill and Miss Lent and Danger Boat. You see Danger Boat's origin story, and it's awesome. And
Hold on. Do you see what I see?
Okay.
Okay,
Over in the
talking about TV
over in the
shows.
comments section, because there wasn't a lot of good movies this week. We're getting into TV world on
That's
the
fine with
Speakerbox
me.
tonight. So
Let's talk about good TV shows.
So
I don't know what you're talking about, Vince.
in the comments right now, one of our viewers, Vince, said that the last episodes of the Orville was 5
Snoozing
Z's.
Z's. No way, man. What are you talking about? The last episode of the Orville was sick.
It was about time travel, which is a very difficult subject to breach.
Dude, but it's so Star Trekky.
If
and
you-
it's so good.
if you
And
guys-
everything about it's amazing. But it has its like modern life comedy twist to it. But it's so dramatic and so good.
And the ending was like, if anybody knows the show or watches the show, you'll know my all-time favorite time travel movie in the history of time travel movies. Anyone? Grip, you probably know this. My favorite time travel movie.
Be excellent to one another.
Yeah. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It handles time travel with the greatest of ease. Everyone thinks that movie's stupid, like dumb, but it is quite smart.
I don't know, because they do go, hey, remind us to do this, and then it just shows up and they're like, oh, sweet, we remember.
Because they're basically poking fun at time the paradox that is time travel, which is it should be that stupid to go, hey, remember to remind me to put the keys so that past us's can have future us's to put so we can unlock the door. That's brilliant. And then boop, there they are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's amazing. And so this episode of the Orville, which we only have two more? One more?
Only one more episode. Dude, if you're not watching the
was a
Orville,
good
you are
time
missing out. It's
was
such a good show.
Good time travel. And you know what? Watch it on Fox.com or watch it on Hulu. Watch it. I did a little free trial. I try to, with these shows that aren't getting these monster numbers, when you watch them on their platform, every time you Google it, every time you search for it on Twitter, and every time, especially if you stream it from their actual streaming platforms, you give them viewership. And that's how we get more seasons. Like when you pirate it off the internet, they can't track that. And they can't tell that people are viewing it. And, that's how seasons get canceled. And so the Orville is really, really good. As Vince said, he's been a big fan of season 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, season 1 is very good. You get a lot of Star Trek style episodes, things where they go to the planet where people get up and down votes and it controls their lives and stuff like that. And then season 2,
you get a lot more character development.
you get that, and you get some serious drama out of it. And man,
and action.
oh yeah, they had like
for a show that's supposed to be
Deep Space Nine level action in like
when they got on that the ice thing and froze while the
oh yeah, that was super cool.
dude, that was cool. Vince, what's wrong with you? Your eyes are broken. But season 1, going to what Vince said in the comments thread, he said that he thought season 1 was too jokey, and that's what it was actually billed to be. It was supposed to be a space comedy from Seth MacFarlane, and I think that maybe they were just like, you know what, let's use humor to address ideas that Trek hasn't been able to do in a way that we can.
Yeah, because it makes it more human than Star Trek. Because Star Trek, everyone's like real
utopian.
Like, oh, I'm in the Federation and I have to be a certain way, and I'm either like real emotional this way or real emotional that way. But in Orville, you get, it's like, oh, what if people are just like people?
Still creatures that have weird desires and passions and thoughts and like the episode where Bortus got addicted to cigarettes. I was laughing out loud, and I don't do that very often.
Or the
when I'm
one
watching anything.
where they went to the club and they were like dancing really terrible.
Oh yeah. But great. It's another good show if you need to get caught up on something that actually. I guess the problem with a lot of TV, and I'm seeing reviews of Game of Thrones coming out, and I'm seeing everybody just wants this Marvel crap. Going back to Marvel's cinematic universe, they want someone to fly up in the air that is the acceptable micro demographic that they want to make themselves feel good about supporting, and then they're going to make them shoot lasers real hard at a bad guy, and then you're going to eat popcorn and you're going to forget everything you just saw, like quite literally. Like, these movies are not memorable. Hey, what's up, Logan? One of the things that I often love to tell people is, like, when they want to talk movies, it's just like right when they go, man, Captain Marvel wasn't that bad. I thought it was really, really good, actually. And I go, hold the horses, hold the phone. Let's talk about this movie in 2 weeks. Let's just come back and we'll talk about this movie. I can still talk to you about movies that were really good that I've seen once.
You know what I can
years
tell you
later.
about Captain Marvel several weeks after the fact?
There was a Blockbuster video in it.
Yeah, I was going to say the True Lies standee, and I was like, I just really want that True Lies standee.
Yeah. And then Jude Law was a double crosser.
Jude Law was in that movie.
Yeah, see? That's about all I remember.
I forgot that Jude Law was even in that.
But, these movies they're just not memorable because they're not made to be memorable, and they're made to get your money. Like, I was reading a report of when I was talking earlier in the show about how the Star Wars story, it's causing Disney to, kind of rethink this one Star Wars movie every year because it barely broke 400 million. There's a lot of movies that would love to get 400 million. When you get some of these lower budget movies, like ones that we've talked about, like what was the one that we just saw? Missing Link, or hell, even Hellboy. That had a $50 million budget, and to me had every much the same level of like lasers and guns and science fiction and special effects as, say, Captain Marvel or Star Wars, like the Solo movie. But it only cost $50 million to make, whereas this one's like 150, 200 million. And they go, but it only made 400 millions. Oh, that's just not good enough. Oh man. Meanwhile, a movie like Hellboy was like, we could just like get 100 million. We'd be good. We'd be tight. We'd be square. And so let's see. In the comments here, we say, Vince says, movie news, Fox has stopped accepting repertory screening bookings, repertory screening bookings, just like Disney. They will flat out refuse to return calls to people that want to pay them money to play their films. Interesting.
Good thing they just showed the Alien movies in theaters as a Fathom event not long ago, and we got to see Die Hard at Thanksgiving. Was it Thanksgiving that we watched Die Hard?
Yeah, because we snuck in Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
And so, wait a second. Screening bookings, they will flat out refuse to. Well, so does that mean like we're gonna like Fathom event store things are gonna fall to the wayside? Like, what does that news mean? How do we interpret that news? If Fox is stop accepting that sort of stuff. Home Alone, Die Hard, Alien movies, are they going to try and pull all that stuff into their streaming platforms? Because, Warner is trying to come up with their own streaming platform. Fox, I think, is working on their own like behind paywall streaming platforms. Just like I was saying the other day, like do you guys have any clue how many streaming platforms are on the operating table now, being like built together by mad scientists waiting to get all your money?
I just realized something.
Yeah, Disney Plus, Logan.
Talking about Fathom events, I just realized I missed True Grit when it was shown in the theaters for the Fathom event.
The original True Grit.
And speaking of Orville and Fathom events, May 13th, there is a special screening of a Deep Space Nine 25th anniversary documentary.
That's
where they
right.
talk with all of the cast and crew. And
Deep Space Nine, what up?
I bought tickets for us to go to it.
Oh, dank. I'm going to wear my Quarks bar shirt.
It is on a Monday, so we might not be here for radio.
Ooh, yeah, that's next month, so we will let you guys know.
And the week before Fathom events, I think it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have all of the Batman
That's
movies.
right.
So
all the
Tim
way to Batman and
Burton's,
Robin.
Yeah, 89 Batman movie, and then Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. So At least 2 of them are worth watching in the movie theater.
And just like Sam said here in the comments section, he said he needs to get Shudder for Joe Bob Briggs. And that's, I mean, Joe Bob Briggs is really right now the best thing that Shudder has going on. It's he's got his own drive-in show that he stole our name from. That plagiarist. No. Shout outs to McLean for getting me that hat signed by Joe Bob Briggs. Very cool stuff. But yeah, in Criterion, they're bringing back the. No, it wasn't. There was one streaming service that got canceled, but Criterion starting their own Criterion service. There's a lot of these people that are trying to get on this cash cow. But here's the thing: is like streaming services are great, they're whatever, but physical media is still king, in my opinion, because you cannot get. And here's the thing: all of you people that buy your ultra mega 75 billion K TVs with the fiber optic connection to your Dolby 97.2 like stereo surround theater, so with your seats and all that shit, and then you go, oh, Netflix, oh, Amazon. Guys, that's compressed. Like, you might as well be watching it on your phone. Like, it is so compressed to conserve bandwidth to you. Like, you may see it and you may hear it, but you're not getting a theatrical experience. You wasted your money on a lot of bullshit. Like, if you buy all that stuff, get a Blu-ray player. Get a Laserdisc player. If you want to experience a movie that sounds like a movie, get a Laserdisc player. And I'm not even kidding you right now. Like, that is the coolest part about Laserdisc. Not the picture quality, because a lot of those scans... Audio. Uncompressed, truly uncompressed, each channel uncompressed, the way it's supposed to be driven to you, the viewer. And you can't get that at home. And a lot of theaters, like, they are engineered to make that experience. And, it's very important.
You know what, though? You should watch on video on demand if you don't have the ability to go watch it in the movie theater. Is The Man Who Killed Don Quixote came out on VOD today.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you check their website and see that it's not playing near you, but still would like to watch it, it
honestly
became available for download today.
If you're like me and there's absolutely nothing to, guess what? We should do. Where is it? How can I get it? How can we find it? Let's give away a copy of The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Oh, dang.
I can gift someone. It's probably on Amazon, right? Can we do that?
I imagine it says it's on video on demand, so I bet you could probably get it on Xbox and Amazon and Vudu.
Let me see here. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote on Blu-ray. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, the MPAA Prime Video. Here it is, right here.
They're gonna have it on
boom
Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's $40. Yeah, but you know what? Can I gift somebody this? How do you do this? Redeem a gift card or promotion code. How do you send this to somebody? That's what I want to do. I want to give you guys this. I want to give somebody this copy of this movie. How can we do this?
Well, how are you going to pick the winner?
I don't know. I'll figure that out. Okay. I just need to figure out how to deliver this prize, right. and then we'll do some fun trivia. What's up, Q? But no, I want. How do we more purchase options?
Yeah, the Prime Video interface I've never really fully gotten used to at all. No matter how many times I've used it.
I don't know.
How do I? Yeah.
There's a way to do it. I mean, you can gift things like products on Amazon, so the functionality.
When you check out, say it's a gift. What? I mean, that's like. But I can rent it. More purchase options. I can only rent it. I want to buy a VOD. Let's see, rent HD, $5.99. Let's see. This video requires that your devices continue.
What's up?
I think I just bought it for myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
Son.
Yeah, I just bought it for myself, which I don't care. So he can have 6 more of my dollars. That's cool. No, I'm gonna watch it later, dude.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I want to give a copy of this movie away because it's important to me.
Smoking the Bandit 3, the one where it follows friggin' the cop as he's retiring around the country.
Okay, maybe.
Hold on, maybe a little bit. because Buford T. Justice is retiring, and then he gets conned back into going on this adventure, and his son is kind of like Sancho. Okay, all right, Sam. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing now.
I see. Smokey and the Bandit. But where's the booze? Where's the trafficking?
I just watched Smokey and the Bandit 3 the other day because it was on TV, and now I'm gonna have to watch it again, like with full attention paid to it.
I want to give away a DVD copy of this, but no one has DVD players anymore. We're gonna figure this out.
The Bandit is his windmill.
There you go. I guess that's true. But anyway, it's out on VOD. I just rented it in HD. I've got 7 days to watch it, which I'll probably watch it again, or force my sister or I'll force somebody to watch it. I'll sit down, watch this movie again.
I was going to say she watched.
She was in the theater with us. But yeah, we'll figure this one out. But anyway, that's out. Man, I wish there was
never seen any of the Smokey and the Bandit movies. You guys, we talk about watching movies in the movie theater and the experience that it brings you and Fathom events. And I saw a Fathom event of Smokey and the Bandit in the movie theater, and I've never smiled more in my entire life. And my mom and dad watched it with me. I bought them tickets to go with me. And my mom said she had never seen me happier in my entire life. I mean, think about how many times you've ever seen me happy. Probably none or next to it.
When you bought that chainmail coif at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, hey, gear up for that.
Yeah, dude.
But straight up, my mom was like, oh, that's the happiest I've ever seen you. Because it was Smokey and the Bandit in the theater. Vince, listen to 80s music. Watch Smokey and the Bandit. Become part of the world.
Yeah, the cool world. Man, let's see.
Don't watch Cool World.
Hey.
Definitely don't play the Cool World video game because it's impossible.
Hey. Ralph Bakshi, man. I stand by Cool World. Cool World was the rated R answer to Roger Rabbit, and it could have been better.
Roger Rabbit was
not rated R.
Quite R.
No, but I'm saying it was the MTV generation rated R answer. And if Ralph Bakshi hadn't had to listen to all the producers to do what he really wanted to do with Cool World, it would have been bonkers AF. And, sometimes people have to kowtow to get things to the screen. But Cool World's pretty neat, man. Cool World is pretty neat. Anybody seen Cool World?
It has the girl. It has
Was it Kim Basinger?
Yeah, because Garth falls in love with her too.
Yeah,
it's the chick from Wayne's World, man.
Yeah. No, dude, what's wrong with you? Cool World not being good. It's got Brad Pitt in it.
It wasn't good. I just said don't watch it.
You said don't watch it. Yeah, dude, and that's incorrect advice. Watch it. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. It's good. It's Ralph Bakshi. Yeah, total swing. And if you've never heard of Ralph Bakshi, if this name is not ringing any bells for you, go back and watch some of his movies. Ralph Bakshi has a great catalog of really great animation. Did
he do Wizards?
Yes, he did.
Wizards is sick. Watch Wizards.
Yeah, Wizards is sick, but it's slow. It's a bit of a slow movie. So if you're
Cool World or Wizards?
Wizards. So if you're just wanting some Avengers style action, Wizards is not for you. But he did the animated Lord of the Rings, which a lot of people know. And
The Hobbit's pretty sweet animated.
He didn't do The Hobbit. He did the Lord of the Rings. But man, yeah, he did. Man, his animation was really, really, really crazy. A lot of people remember him from Fritz the Cat. But one of my favorite ones, if you've never seen it, is Fire and Ice. That is it's when he paired with Frank Frazetta. And, dude.
That one's always on Amazon Prime if you want to watch that.
Yeah. Vincent said he watched The Wizard with Fred Savage.
Different movie.
That's called The Wizard. This is
man?
Wizards.
In that movie, he has that autistic little brother that's like crazy talented, and then they just kind of ditch him through that movie.
It's bad. Yeah. It's just not a good story about relationships. Spice City. Well, there's not much news left. What else do we talk about that I wanted to talk about? Man, there's Cobra Kai news. Blah. We already talked about that. We talked about Halo. We talked about Mike Myers getting a deal with Netflix to do another show because apparently we still need to give him opportunities because Gong Show was so good.
To ask, like, what happened to Gong Show? It was...
Dude, gross. Like, Mike Myers, just let him write. I don't think we need to see him in rubber suits doing accents anymore. I think we've all gotten our fill of that one.
Unless they make another Austin Powers movie.
No, please, God.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. What was the last one?
Goldmember.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, what the order was? I mean, there was Austin Powers.
International Man of Mystery.
And then Austin Powers.
The Spy Who Shagged Me.
And then Austin Powers.
Goldmember.
Was there not a third one?
That was the third one. Goldmember.
I mean, fourth one?
No.
Good. We can't have it without Vern Troyer anyway.
What? There's a sneak peek of Godzilla on HBO right now?
What? Or is it... Okay, Dina, here it is. So she says that there's had a sneak peek of Godzilla King of Monsters. How sneak of a peek are we talking about? Because this is getting ridiculous, man, with people in their sneak peeks. Like, I saw on literally right now on IMDb's main page, there is the trailer, because everybody was making a big deal about the Child's Play trailer last week, and then they released an extended version that actually showed Chucky, the Buddy doll's face, right? And everybody's like, oh, man, yeah. And it's still a trailer, you guys. But now there's a featurette with the director doing commentary on the trailer. That is stupid. Why are we doing commentary on trailers?
Like a Blu-ray bonus feature?
Yeah, it's like, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and we were talking about, like, if you really want to experience a movie that you're going to see, you're going to go sit in the theater anyway, avoid the trailer. Avoid it at all costs. Because like movies like Hereditary that came out, what was that, last year? The trailer completely upended my experience of that movie because every single cliffhanger moment that you'd be on your seat going, what is going to happen? They actually showed it in the trailer. And there was one humongous moment where the guy was on fire, and the scene is like the tensest scene in the world. And if I had not known, I would have been like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, this is where the dude catches on fire. And
Dude, but I need so much Mothra in my life, though.
Yeah, but if you just go to the theater and see it.
I can't wait. Yeah, dude, I can't wait.
Extended trailer,
Also,
short scene with Ghidorah.
Here's a BS thing about Godzilla King of Monsters right now. At the store right now, you can get all the toys, and they have different sizes of all the toys and everything. And there's little 2 sets where you get a Godzilla, and he's colored different depending on who he's fighting. And there's one with Rodan and one with Ghidorah. There isn't a double set with Mothra, and I need that.
There's not a Mothra set?
No.
There's no Mothra figure?
There's the classic Mothra that you can get, but there's one Mothra toy, but you can't get, like, there's one that I haven't seen Mothra at all, and I need it. I need that.
Why is it that everyone
And I need it
loves
to come with the
Mothra
little
so much?
fairies.
The fairies are not going to be in it. There's no fairies. Not in this one. Not in this one. This is American Godzilla. They're going to cut out all the best parts. Let's make it stupid for the guys with the truck nuts. It's terrible. It's terrible. Well, I don't have any more news to talk about. We didn't see any movies.
I did.
You saw a movie?
Yeah, dude.
You were holding out on me when I asked you if you were going to see a movie.
Oh, no. I said last week, man, I'd watch Dumbo.
Oh, you watched Dumbo?
I watched Dumbo.
Tell us about Dumbo.
Well, just like Godzilla, where they're like, hey, this movie's called Godzilla, and you came for the Godzilla, they throw a swerve at you, and it's not about them at all. And Dumbo is barely about Dumbo, but instead it's all about Colin Farrell and his weird children that don't look like they're remotely related in any way.
So it's a family drama?
No, man, it's a bullcrap turd movie, as would be expected.
A bullcrapping turd movie.
So, You know, my concern was that going into Dumbo, it would be the saddest thing ever because Dumbo is the saddest thing ever. If you've ever watched Dumbo, they took all that out. Doesn't matter. There's nothing sad in this movie because there's no story in this movie.
Wait.
There's no
No. But did you just say that there's nothing sad in Dumbo?
Straight up.
Well, then it's not even Dumbo.
That's what I'm saying. There's no like the baby song, instead of it being just sung out in the open and Dumbo's mom crying and Dumbo crying and him being like rocked
And
to
then they're
sleep
getting
and
murdered.
everything. Yeah, but instead it's like just the mermaid lady on a ukulele for 5 seconds. And instead of Dumbo getting drunk and on accident and pink elephants and everything, it's just an act in a circus later on. And then you get it for a few seconds, but none of it has like the weight because pink elephants is terrifying.
Oh, dude, that's scary. It's scary business.
And the whole thing of Dumbo's mom being locked up and
Was that
being
not
able
in
to see
there?
him. Yeah, kind of, but it's not.
They didn't know they don't tear jerk it up like it needs to be.
Right, there's no weight.
Here's the
to
thing.
it.
Your fucking kids need to cry.
Yeah,
Like
straight up.
Kids need to cry. Kids need to experience stuff that's not fun. Kids need to experience consequence.
Well,
And I think in a lot of kids movies these days, they remove every single bit of sadness and consequence, and that's why none of this crap's memorable at all, because it's just babysitting.
Well, and that was the thing. You get like 2 lines of character build for about 50 different characters each. There's the strongman, there's the mermaid lady, there's Michael Keaton's character, there's Ava Green's character, there's Danny DeVito, there's Colin Farrell, there's both Colin Farrell's kids, there's all of these other circus people.
Sam.
And wow, not okay, Sam.
In the comments. Oof.
So they spend no time on Dumbo, and there's no animals. Like there's a throwback to the fact that there was a mouse or that there was a crow, by them playing like some of the music tunes for 5 seconds, being like, hey, this is what it could have been, but it's not.
Take.
Yeah. And there was no weight or emotion to the movie. And the thing is, too, it just solidifies that Tim Burton's directing style now is green screen and poor CG. The whole movie had an odd depth to it because everything was just such an obvious green screen effect or done in post, and it was difficult to watch, which is why going and watching Batman there, Sam, with Michael Keaton going nuts, seeing Batman and Batman Returns in the movie theater coming up the first part of May, and seeing where Tim Burton is just insanely different and so far away from where he is now.
Weird,
and
yeah.
And it's kind of difficult to watch.
How he's regressed as an actor.
And this is another
progressed.
movie where Disney, I think, is too deep in their live actions because Beauty and the Beast was such an insane
Aladdin.
success.
Oh, Aladdin.
Yeah, and so now they have Aladdin coming out, and I think with the financial failure of Dumbo and reactions like mine, mixed with the already poor reception of Aladdin, which they showed a trailer for it before Dumbo. The whole time I was like, really, dude? They got to stop with these live action remakes, man.
They're so bad. They
But,
look so bad. And they're not memorable. Remember when
Dumbo
everybody...
wasn't Dumbo. Yeah, there was nothing that I'm going to remember.
You remember
about
here
this
on the
movie.
drive-in speaker box when everybody was talking about how great the live action remake Jungle Book was that Disney put out?
The one with Jason
Do you
Lee?
remember that it even happened?
Yeah, dude, I have the
Not
VHS.
the Jason Lee one, because that one was tight.
Oh.
The one that just came out like a couple years ago.
Oh, the one that we both put on our 10 worst list.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's not fair." That I'm gonna remember that movie till I'm dead, man. It was so good. It was Jungle Book, man, Baloo, man, and all. And it's like, guess what? A lot of you guys forgot it even happened.
Hey, you know what turned out? I watched the other day, and it turned out it's not so bad. The Mowgli movie on
Netflix?
Yeah, the one that what's his face? What's his name? Anthony Serkis.
Andy Serkis?
Yeah, Andy Serkis did. It turned out that was actually pretty good.
Cool.
Not bad, but Dumbo was not good at all. And the ending was super weird.
Yeah.
It was just real awkward. Nothing made sense in this entire movie. Danny DeVito was probably the best part of the whole thing. And you know what was weird is that they put It's Always Sunny references in this movie. And there's even another cast member from It's Always Sunny that shows up in this to have interactions with Danny DeVito.
What movie was I talking about the other day where I was like, somebody's going to do the floss? What was it? That was something. No, Groot. Yeah, where popular culture things are penetrating into like popular narrative, just like you were saying, Always Sunny references. Like, I'm betting that, they're just preying on these at the moment, non-timeless things. Because like Dumbo didn't have any like, oh, it was popular in the 1930s. This, we're gonna take a reference on this. Yeah, it was just a story that they were telling.
Well, and you watch the original Dumbo, and there's so much. Everything's emotional and weighted, and there's all of these characters that you can connect with. And I get that you can't put Jim Crow in like a newer movie, but just such extreme liberties were taken with the story because of that lack of that. And when you have a character as unrealistic as Dumbo, you got to ground it somewhere, and he doesn't. So.
Oh, as Red Sanjuro said, I was unhappy with that. I watched season 2, and when they did the Fortnite dances, I was almost flipped my computer over. But
Right.
but yeah, and I just
Rob McElhenney is in Game of Thrones. I don't think so, Vince.
All right, box office. You gonna round it up? Do the roundups. Talk about the last weekend, April 19th through 21st, 2019. It's the last segment of the show where we tell you what came out in theaters and what made money in the top 10. We start with number 10. We work our way to number 1. These are all domestic numbers only. We don't do the worldwide. Sometimes we will, just for fun. But the domestic numbers are really what matters in terms of getting things greenlit. So, actually, I want to start with number 12. I just want to mention number 12 because it opened up, the Penguin movie from Disney Nature opened up at 12. Opened at 12. Only brought in $2.2 million. That's pretty weak, you guys, and they've been putting a lot of money in trying to get this advertised.
Well, at the same time, Hulu has announced that they have March of the Penguins 2 that will be streaming with them. With narration by Morgan Freeman and all that. So if you want your Penguin fix, you can get like the March of the Penguins.
Across the
Remember
ice.
what a
From bug to bug
phenomenon March of the Penguins was when it came out?
Yeah, because it was Morgan Freeman. The seals chasing the penguins. All right, let's see. Number 10, Hellboy. From Lionsgate, bringing in $3.9 million in its second weekend release. Budget of only $50 million, has so far only brought in $19.7 million. It is getting panned. People are not seeing this movie. It is just, it's. I don't think it's gonna get a sequel. I think that we've seen our last Hellboy. And as Dina said, yes. It did a respectable collection per theater. It was only out in 1,815 theaters nationwide. So, it's on average was about the number 7 place, but it just didn't make it. Oh, dang, Sam. March of the Penguins 2, Into the Wood Chipper. You're just dark tonight. Things in jet engines and penguins and wood chippers. Like, dang, man. Let's see, number 9, Missing Link, bringing in only $4.1 million in its second weekend release, bringing its domestic gross up to $12 million. I am a little curious about the. It hasn't been out in the foreign market yet, which is really odd because these movies tend to do pretty well in the UK, but we will see if it gets a international release.
Especially starring Hugh Jackman.
Exactly. Number 9, that was number 9. Number 8, Us from Universal, bringing in $4.1 million in its fifth weekend release. $20 million budget has brought in $170 million so far at the box office. Number 7, we got Pet Sematary, bringing in $4.8 million to Paramount. Third weekend release has brought in $49.5 million up against a $21 million budget. So, again, the horror formula works. Don't spend much money and make a bunch of money. Even though, we'll cover that. Let's see.
Genesis is sick, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Even if things do good overseas, it doesn't mean they'll get sequels. It means the property's not dead. So yeah, they might reboot it. But we'll see. What were we on? We were at number 7. Number 6, Dumbo, which we just talked about from Buena Vista, and its 4th week in release, bringing in $6.6 million up against a budget of 170. Brought in $101 million at the box office, and Sam agreed with you on that one, Grip.
Yeah, dude, because Genesis was actually pretty cool.
It was actually pretty good. Dina said Missing Link has had a foreign release and it hasn't done well. I guess those numbers didn't show up on my aggregator, so I'm curious as to what those numbers look like, which is sad because the movie is actually pretty cute. Let's see, what do we got here? Number 5, Little from Universal, somehow still bringing in movie. Body Swap Comedies, $8.3 million in its 2nd week in release. $20 million budget brought it in a $29 million domestic gross. Number 4, Captain Marvel from Buena Vista, bringing in $9.1 million in its 7th week in release, bringing it up to the all the money club. $400 million here domestically, and more on the way. Number 3, Breakthrough from Fox. Like, you could go see Captain Marvel and then go see Avengers like in the same week. That's a little weird. Like, we're getting too many of these movies. And in fact, you can see it as a double feature at our 112 drive-in this weekend. They're going to be showing Endgame and then Captain Marvel back to back at our local Fayetteville, and for $10 a person, so you can see both movies.
Well, wasn't
for
that how
$10.
Black Panther and the last Avengers were? They were both in the theater at the same time.
I think so. It's crazy. Number 3, Breakthrough. Wow, breaking through at the number 3 spot from Fox, bringing $11.2 million in its opening week, with a little expanded release there. It had a day early opening, brought it up to $14.7 million domestically. Pretty good for a very, very, very low budget faith-based film. But as we've been seeing the trend of these faith-based movies, they are just tapping into that market and squeezing them wallets out. The AMC, the 20 movie Marvel movie thing. They did the marathon where you could go see them all in order.
Oh, they already did it?
I think it's happening now, like this week.
Right.
Because it's going to take basically a week to do it. So yeah, if you got a ticket to that, you're stupid. Let's see.
Funny to see spoilers from the highway.
Oh, it would, like, no, going by the drive-in theater.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Sometimes, man, our drive-in, as you drive by, if you're
looking the right direction, you can see it because that screen is huge.
If you're in the passenger seat, yeah.
You're like, Spider-Man.
Just don't tune your radio to that station.
Was it 97.1 or something like that? Yeah. All right, number 2 movie in America. Guess what? More comic books. We have, let's see, 3 comic books, 3 comic book movies, and next week we'll have 4 comic book movies in the theater at the same time. We'll have Hellboy, Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Avengers all in the theaters at the exact same time.
You sure Hellboy's going to stay in theaters next week?
I think it's the 2nd week, so it'll have 1 more week in the theaters.
Oh, it's only been out 2 weeks?
It's only been out 2 weeks. So, all right, Sam, thanks for tuning in, man. So it brought in $16.4 million in the box office, 3 weekends out, $100 million budgets, brought in $120 million domestically. It's definitely going to get a sequel. And I don't know, we've got the Black Adam movie coming. We got all these other things coming. And number 1 with, I think they said, one of the worst Easter box offices in history, but The Curse of Yayorna coming in. I'm just doing it to bug you. You do it.
Huh? Me?
La Llorona. The UK box office is this weekend. Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you, Dina. But The Curse of La Llorona from Warner Brothers, bringing in $26.3 million. $9 million budget, still did very well for itself. $26 million is not bad, but they are talking about, there was just not a whole lot of stuff in theaters Easter weekend, and people go to the movies on Easter weekend. It was kind of weird, but everybody wanted to make room for Avengers. And, they didn't want to release something big this week because it was not going to have any chance next weekend.
Right.
So they just kind of tossed out, and of course, Breakthrough being near an Easter weekend always helps because, Jesus. And
2 movies that are pretty much guaranteed to make their money back horror movie and
a Jesus movie.
And a churchy movie.
Yeah. So there you go. That is your box office roundup for the weekend of April 19th through 21st. And that is the end of the show. We are going to wrap it up, like I said, about a half hour early because we didn't have a lot of movies to talk about. Let's see. Vince says, I think there's been less sequels lately and more comic book movies lately, right? There's still tons and tons and tons of sequels coming out.
Do remakes count as sequels too?
In my book, yes. We're still getting... Pet Sematary is a remake. Dumbo's a remake. Hellboy is a remake. Captain Marvel is a sequel. Shazam is, it's based on a comic book. And that's let's see, number 14, How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World's a sequel. There was a bunch of sequels. Tyler Perry's Medea's Family Funeral, still in a few theaters. Lego Movie 2, still in a few theaters down there. A lot of, just sequels, remake sequels. And The Beach Bum, still playing in 36 theaters down there at number 49. Look at that. But there you go. Anyway, that's our, what is time? I don't know, Adina. But all right, we're gonna get out of here. But thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. You can find us over on your Facebook at the Drive-In Speakerbox, YouTube / the Drive-In Speakerbox. Sign up, hit that button, share it with your friends. We are on the Twitters. We have the Periscope. You can find the Periscope app if you still use it at Drive-In Speakerbox. But pretty soon we're going to be on the old Spotifys and your Podbeans and your Podbox and your Boxy Spots and whatever all those freaking services are. But we're still doing the migration. We're still making baby steps towards moving to the new studio. So get ready for that. And any parting words there?
I got nothing, man.
Word up. Well, thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. As always, I'm the boom operator.
On the grip.
Peace out.